And you're pretty bullish on Tesla? You think the Tesla Model 3 is launch as big as the iPhone, right?
Absolutely. I think Tesla is going to be the most exciting story to watch over the next 5 years. And this is a polarizing story, and there are people who are considered the cult camp and the non-believers. And I'm in a believing camp here. But we think it's going to take a little bit longer than most people think, probably a couple years longer to really hit that inflection point. But we think what Tesla is going to do is going to be even bigger than what most people think. And just to put it in a context, is Tesla is really being a pioneer around electric vehicles. But every car that's made today will be fully autonomous in 2 years. And so whether or not legislators are going to allow that is another question. But when you put that combination together, is EV autonomous and more affordable than people think, then you get to this paradigm shift that can be as dramatic as the iPhone was when it changed a phone to a computer in your pocket.
And you guys did some research about how affordable electric vehicle of a Tesla is compared to cars that most people own.
Exactly. We went and looked at a Toyota Camry, just basically your standard issue car here in the US, and we found that Model 3, the average price is going to be about 42% higher than a Toyota Camry. But when you look at the total cost of ownership over a 5-year period, which factors in savings around insurance, fuel, and repairs, that gap narrows to 14%. But these cars are infinitely different cars too. And I would just point out that once, I don't own a Tesla, I've driven in a Tesla, but once you have a Tesla, it's hard to go back.
And for 14% more.
14% more, yep.
Do you have a favorite tech stock?
If you're going to say what's one story to own, it would be Tesla. And I just want to warn people that this is going to be a really wild ride here. And the stock has big trades based on production comments that they have and timing of different products. But I think if you step back and think about what's going to happen in transportation, this is going to be an incredible change in the next 10 years. And as we think about the next 10 years, I don't want you to think about the last 10 years, what's happened over the last 10 years, but this accelerating returns on tech. It means that in the next 10 years, we might see 20 or 30 years of innovation. And so when we think about Tesla and what they want to do around transportation, we like to think about a traditional car as a horse and buggy. And some people love to drive their cars, and they'll have a chance to go to a track probably and do that. But eventually, we're going to all have autonomous cars probably earlier than you think.